How's it going, everybody? Landon with the Truck Boss Show. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Always next to my friend Isela.
Hola, ¿cómo están todos?
Never know what she's saying, but it's always good.
I'm always saying hi. I'm always saying hi, so just know that. It's nothing bad.
I don't agree with that, but whatever.
But then I can always say something different, even if I'm smiling and you still believe it was something nice.
Just use the Google app. We'll find out. No
Google
big deal.
Translator?
Exactly. Hey, we've got an awesome show. Lots going on here. We always start off with the news, so we sell it. Let's jump off with it.
We're going to go quick. Last week, we talked about the FMCSA having their comment poll open to where you can go, give your opinion, and talk about how you feel, what you think. Well, this is a pilot program for under 21 interstate truckers. They said, you know what, July 15th, that's it, cut off. They came back the next day on the 16th and said, guess what? It is open all the way through August the 14th. So if you have not went onto the website and commented or expressed your opinion, you still have plenty of time. Landon, I think that this is awesome that the FMCSA is doing this. And this isn't something that they're just doing it to waste people's time. They want everyone's opinion, the public, the drivers, everyone. Do not, and I'm going to repeat myself, do not let it go by and you not say nothing about it.
No, you mentioned something very important. They want not only the trucking industry, the stakeholders, but they want the public. So we need you to be able to share this video, get a part of the conversation, get your family, get your friends that aren't in the trucking industry a part of this. Do you want those who are 18 to 20 on the road driving an 80,000-pound truck next to you? This is a big deal.
Right. Now, it's like our boss said, do you want to be the solution or do you want to be the problem? So, that is up to you. And you can't complain if, you know what, nothing gets done, because you know what, if you didn't say anything, don't say nothing at all.
That's what my mom always says. But here's the thing, don't be like Isela and just comment on Facebook. Go to the Federal Register. We're going to put it in the comment thread so you can be a part of this. Extremely important.
You know what, I challenge you to go and comment.
Game on. Done. Done.
It's a challenge.
You'll see it, and you can go to the Federal Register and see my comment. Fair enough?
Okay. Yes. And I'll comment. I'll comment myself.
You got ahead of me.
So just so you cannot say that we're not being part of this, because we also have an opinion just like you do.
Absolutely. We're going to be on the front lines. We'll keep you posted. Get a part of the conversation. Like, share, comment. We want not only you, but the public, your family and friends.
Yes. We're going to be sharing that link on the comment thread below, so you can go down there and you can put whatever you want, whatever you got to say, and don't say we didn't tell you.
That's right. As you can tell, we're emphasizing engagement. Yes. Huge, huge, huge.
Yes.
Fair enough?
Yes.
My turn.
Go for it.
CVSA has launched on July 14th going into the 20th. We only have a few more days, but they are doing their speeding enforcement to where they're pulling over trucks as well as the public, four-wheelers, to make sure that there is no safety violations. Last year, they did 42,000 inspections where they pulled them over, and 11,000 people actually had a violation. Isela, this is a big deal.
It is.
Everybody needs to be prepared, and this is happening right now. It's going to the 20th.
And you know what? Safety first. That is the importance. This is the reason why they're doing it. You know, a lot of people might take it the wrong way, but I'm sorry. I want to know that I'm going to be safe on the road with whoever, whether it's a truck, whether it's a big rig, whatever it is. I want safety.
Here on the Truck Boss Show, we reported earlier to where four-wheeler increase of traffic is growing.
It is.
And when it comes to the increase of violations as well as fatalities with truck-related accidents is also growing.
Yes, because a lot of those fatalities are because of speeding.
Exactly. Debate is ELDs, hours of service. Hey, we'll let you share your opinion on that. So like, comment, and share, get a part of this. It's huge. And so understand, CVSA is pulling people over right now with local law enforcement, state law enforcement across the nation, all the way up to the 20th. Get a part of this conversation. Share this because everybody needs to know it.
Yes, let everyone know.
Exactly. So we've got some incredible segments that are happening right now. Isela, why don't you start it off?
Yes, we had the opportunity to have a good visit with our friend Steve Kane with Rolling Strong. Let me tell you, when I say health and wellness is very important, we do talk about that a lot on the show because it is, especially for our fellow drivers that are out on the road a lot. Now, when I say that they are, they're there to tell you this is the healthy way to go, they're not playing. They have this awesome app where they can tell you while you're on the road where to go and, to avoid all the fast food restaurants and stuff that it's not healthy. And if you don't believe me, check this video out for yourself.
Hey everyone, Nikki here with the Truck Boss Show. Today we're joined by our friend Steve Kane, who is president of Rolling Strong. Hi Steve, thanks for joining us today.
Hello Nikki, hello everybody. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So Steve, How did you get into trucking? And maybe tell us a little bit about your story, how your involvement came about with health and wellness and in the trucking industry.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I've been involved in trucking really, since I was old enough to shine the aluminum on my brother's truck that pulled into the yard. My dad had trucks in the yard. My brother drove truck. I found it as a very respected position because he supported a young family driving truck, and I always looked up to that. And I thought the trucks were very cool as well. I shined the aluminum, I washed the trucks, eventually worked on the trucks, and eventually started going on the road on weekends to make extra money with my brother. And then I went to college and tried to start a few businesses while I was in college and that kind of thing, and ended up back driving trucks full time. When I was in my early 20s, and I drove for a few carriers, Allied Van Lines for one of them, really hard work, moving people coast to coast. And, so I just kind of evolved and grew through trucking and ended up with an LTL carrier in the Carolinas, very old school, running old T-card dispatch boards, working on operations management, moved on to another carrier, Old Dominion Freight Line, was with them for a little over 10 years, and I did everything there from, operations to management, and eventually got into technology and built some technologies and worked with some technology groups, improving processes in transportation and that kind of thing. But parallel to being kind of a data nerd and working in kind of the IT side of trucking, I also owned boxing and kickboxing schools where we had fitness and nutrition counseling, and we had a youth program for young people to get acclimated with boxing, and we worked with them as USA boxing coaches. So one day I was driving down the road and I was very familiar with the health risks that really revolve around trucking because I've experienced those myself. And I came up with this idea to build a technology platform to support wellness programs and a mobile application to support drivers on the road. I guess probably, one of the things to mention, because I've been on a mission with this and it's very dear to my heart. But I was sick in the early 2000s with cancer. So I got sick, went through chemotherapy and went through, treatments and surgeries and that kind of thing. And the driver population at that time that I was responsible for, they donated an hour of their paycheck a week for several months while I went through chemo so I could have a paycheck and insurance, and done a lot of other really amazing things. So, it's interesting because truckers are the people that are, we think they're cutting us off the road and, we're racing them to get on the on-ramp. And we always hear the horrific stories when there's a bad accident. And a lot of truckers look kind of gruff and, maybe not all the time is approachable. But what I can tell you is they're an amazing group of people because of what they did for me, during that time. And so I always thought maybe there was a way I can return that. And I think that I do now, with Rolling Strong and with all the people that, work for this company. That's what we do all day, every day, is we kind of return that favor and we help people, figure out how to stay healthy.
For individuals that might not know what Rolling Strong is, can you talk a little bit more about your organization and what you all provide?
Absolutely. So we are, our platform is built to, number one, give drivers access to a place to get a pre kind of DOT physical. So through E2 North pharmacies, which includes Walmarts, through CVS stores and several other partners that we have, drivers in the application can redeem a voucher to go get a health check done. They can go in and get that health check done. The data automatically shows up in our app. We've networked with all of the Higgy health check kiosks that are found in pharmacies across the country. So you can go in with one of those and pull up the app and scan it, and it'll log you in immediately. All that data shows up in your HIPAA protected kind of profile, your information. You can share that with one of our coaches. We have a whole network of coaches we built. Those coaches will evaluate that data, come up with a treatment plan for an enterprise organization. So what is the treatment plan for a large group, but also they'll come up with individual treatment plans for an individual person.
And where can these guys and gals go to find those resources? Is it just in the App Store? Do they need to go online? And what does something like this cost to become a member of your program?
Yeah, so independent drivers, they can go, there's a couple different resources for it. There are some insurance programs out there that we partnered with, where they get the mobile application, with that plan. They can go into the App Store, so you can go in iOS, you can go in Android, Google Play Store, and you can download the app. It's $5 a month. You get access to unlimited remote coaching, which includes being able to text coaches through the app. It includes being able to call them. It includes the nutrition planning, the exercise videos, all kinds of media and content, and analytics. So we've created analytics that learns the user based on their interaction with the app and their behaviors, and then we send educational content back to them based on that interaction. So a health and fitness artificial intelligence, if you will. So you can get that with that kind of $5 a month program. But we also sell this as an enterprise program to fleets. And with the enterprise program, it's much bigger, because now we are deploying educational content through their media sources, their intranets. We're leasing them health check kiosks. We are installing, building, and maintaining anything from a hotel-sized gym to a full-size gym. We're putting coaches on the ground in those locations. We're giving them access to their own set of coaches for the remote coaching. We built our own marketing platform, so we're just delivering constant education and communication through emails. So, and then we assign an account manager to every enterprise fleet account, so we can kind of hold their hand. And then one of the biggest things, kind of tied in with all this, is we built our own gamification and rewards platform. So everything you do in the application, whether you're an individual user or you're somebody that's, as part of an enterprise fleet, you have the opportunity to earn points. So if I log within 85% of my nutrition accurately for the day, I earn points. If I'm connected to, which, by the way, we're connected to Fitbit, Garmin, Polar, Samsung, Apple Watches, all the wearables. So we pull that data in. If I've hit a certain number of steps in a day, I earn points for it. If I log workouts, it will actually look at your heart rate from your wearable, and if your heart rate has hit and exceeded your target heart rate zone for the day, then we match that with the workout you said you did, and we give you points for that too. So we've really figured out a lot of ways to validate, health and healthy choices, and through the mobile application. Even if you go into a Walmart pharmacy, even if you go into a health check kiosk, we're capturing that data and we're giving you points for that too. So there almost isn't anything that you do or on the app that we don't give you points for. We allow companies to run competitions. So we built a portal that they can interact with. They can set up a competition. I'm going to start it from this date and go to this date. I want whoever gets the most steps to win or the most points to win. I want to pick first, second, third place prizes. They can create multiple groups like bronze, gold, and silver, and people that make it into those based on criteria win prizes. We even have it connected to where when those users win, we have a fulfillment center, and we ship the prizes. We take care of all the distribution of those prizes and tracking of those prizes as well for the clients.
Well, Steve, this sounds like an amazing resource, and $5, I mean, come on now. That is like a no-brainer. I mean,
Right.
I think that's a flippin' steal. So
Yeah.
take advantage of this for all the truckers out there. This is an amazing app. Been on there, looked around on it. It's just, it blows my mind. If you don't take advantage of it, then you're definitely missing out. So go check it out. And Steve, thank you for everything that you've done and that you're continuing to do. And we wish you luck on all the growing things with Rolling Strong. And that's it for this Truck Boss Show. Thanks again, Steve.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks, Nikki. Thanks, everyone.
A big thanks to Steve Kane. Landon, health is very important, but you know what? Rolling Strong is doing something really awesome. They literally walk you through everything. They explain, they help. Everything that they're doing for all our fellow drivers out there, I think it's awesome. Their app is great. I think we should use that app.
Well, the cool thing is they actually made that app available to us, and I looked into it. It's amazing. What's cool about it, it doesn't matter what your goals are. You can actually click on that and actually go through the specific process and procedure, all the different suggestions, all the different plans, and be able to reach your goals. Awesome stuff.
I think that's another challenge for us.
Well,
I think we should try it. We're
I'm just
traveling
saying,
on the road too.
the last couple of months, I'm down under 20 pounds, just under 20,
We're not
17
going
to
to
be
go
specific.
there with me because...
Hold on, should I flex? No, I won't flex. It's not that impressive.
Is that a
So-
guy thing? Is that a guy thing?
It is.
Yeah, I wouldn't flex if I was you either. That's messed up. You don't want to disappoint nobody.
Oh, she's hard to impress. You should meet her boyfriend. You'll find out. Whatever.
Yes.
So I can't hang, but whatever. At least I'm doing my job.
He can train you. I'm kidding.
Hey, moving on to my segment. Is that okay?
Go for it.
I ain't going to flex through it.
No, but you know you do a good job at that, so go for
I'll
it.
flex into the story. So what's cool about it, I had an opportunity to sit down with my friend through a Skype interview, Bryan Hutchens, successful owner-operator who owns a couple trucks, does heavy hauling. He's talking rates and how he's able to negotiate with brokers to get the best rate in a time where many people that believe that rates are declining and it's really hard to make some good money, but he disagrees. Check out this interview. How's it going, everybody? Landon with the Truck Boss Show. Thank you so much for joining me on this special segment. Excited to have a friend of mine, Mr. Bryan Hutchens. Bryan, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Landon.
Man, I'm excited about the topic that we're going to be discussing. Something that's very emotional, and that's rates. Definitely when it comes to hitting the back pocket of all drivers out there.
It is, and the further we go into more regulations that are forced upon us, you know, it's going to become a bigger and bigger deal to be able to stay ahead of the ball and actually make a profit.
Absolutely. So I have some specific questions, but before I do that, for those who don't know you, share real quickly how long you've been owning your company and possibly what you haul.
I started actually in 2012 on my own. My parents have been in it since my mom started in the early 80s, 80, 81, into operations. And she shut down in 2012. She got tired of dealing with California and was ready to retire, and I went on my own. And we actually do a lot of open deck, step deck, and oversized.
Getting to know you, I know you've been very busy. However, when it comes to the topic of rates, I've seen a lot of posts, not only just from you, but all the friends of the Truck Boss Show on how right now is very challenging and what the future holds, and also how they're trying to protect their business so they can have the cash flow. So my first question to you, you and I spoke last week over the phone about an experience you had hauling to Vegas and your experience with a certain broker on how to negotiate and bring up a rate. Can you tell that story?
Yeah, so they called me about this load a couple times, and they had this load posted out of Oklahoma going out to Vegas for $2,400, which most people know they're not going to take anyway. But there are a few people that take it to get back. Those people that still believe that the word backhaul is a valid reason. So anyway, he had it posted at 24. He called me, and I shot him a couple of rates, which he shot down. He finally called me back, and he come from 24 up to $3,000. We ended up settling at $4,000 on this load for me to go from Oklahoma to Vegas. And I go, this is a military load. First thing you do, everybody knows it hauls military loads. You pick up the bill of lading, and it says right there across the front what that load pays. So he was originally trying to move this load at $2,400. This load paid $55.44.38. So if he could have moved that load at $24, it'd have been a nice $3,100 profit for him in his week. I mean, it's absolutely insane. People keep thinking these rates are dropping from the customer, but in reality, the customers aren't dropping these rates. It's people are not negotiating these rates to where they're actually making enough profit, and the brokers are making a huge profit off of them.
You negotiated with that broker from $2,400 up to $4,000. What are 2 or 3 tips that you would give those who are listening to right now? What are those tips to help them negotiate better rates that you've learned in those books and from mentors?
Well, number one thing is you need to know your cost to run down the road. If you don't know your cost, you can't negotiate. Number two, you need to know when you're looking at that rate or that lane, what it should actually pay and what it's going to take to get you there. You know that if you're going from Oklahoma City to Colorado, that it's going to be a dead market when you get to Colorado. So you've got to load your load going up to where it pays enough that you got enough money to bounce a long way back out of there. A lot of guys are not charging enough. We used to go to South Dakota. We'd load oil field pipe out of Texas going to South Dakota. Those loads would pay $6 to $7 grand a load to go up there, because you get to South Dakota, North Dakota, there's nothing to load back out of there coming back. You have to know your markets. If you are using the cheapest setup packet you can on a load board, you're not getting the full potential you could out of that load board. A lot of these load boards will show you the rate indexes. I really don't mess with, because to me, market rates really don't tell you where you should be. And I was on both sides of this. I've been a broker and I've also been a trucker. So to me, What's a fair rate is what you can find a truck at that time that's at that area that will do it at that moment. You can't base it on, well, DAT says it should be this because that's what's been for the past 60 days, because you have to look where they get those numbers from. But you go back to, when you get into that, you need to know where your hot markets are, and DAT or truck stop or any of those are going to have load to truck ratios. If you look at those load to truck ratios and there's 60 loads to every one truck in that area, well, guess what? You have a market cornered there to where you can actually negotiate a higher rate. If you go into an area where there's 5 loads to one truck in that area, you're not going to have as good a potential to get a higher rate as you are if you go into those hot markets.
Bryan out of Oklahoma, my dear friend, thank you for joining us on the Truck Boss Show, and I hope you'll come back.
Love to.
Bryan, thank you so much. Love our relationship. You've been a big help in the Truck Boss Show. All your insight with all the advocacy, as well as Isela, when it comes to rates, huge deal. There is a need to make sure that everybody understands, especially independents, on how to negotiate the best rate so they can make the most money.
That is very important. And I know a lot of drivers out there have said, I don't make enough for me to do this type of load or go this type, this distance. There's a lot of stuff that comes into play. They have a truck that they have to maintain, the wear and tear, and that stuff gets expensive. And I know they have to look out for their best interests.
No, it was awesome on this interview. Bryan specifically mentioned the broker offered up a very low rate, and he was able to negotiate that up a couple grand, which is a big deal. And the reason why he shared on that interview. So anyway, I hope that every independent took some nuggets when it comes to how to negotiate with brokers. They're looking to make money. Everybody's looking to make money. But when it comes to those actually haul, they need to make the most money, in my opinion.
Yes, they do. I agree.
My opinion, not the Truck Boss Show.
For once, I agree with you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So we have some awesome stuff coming up in a couple weeks.
You do. You guys are going to be.
Crap, is that a cuss word?
No.
Okay.
I'm just
making sure.
You're a cookie cutter. It's okay. That's
fine.
loud.
So are you sometimes.
I can be.
Oh,
Let's
whatever.
not. Anyways, so you guys are going to be in Maple Grove.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, you're going to be on special assignment.
Yes.
The rest of the Truck Boss Show team, the street team, is going to be live in Pennsylvania, Maple Grove Raceway, being able to cover the event live. So if you can't be there, we're going to bring it Facebook live, as well as behind the scenes with the great directors that actually make the whole event happen, all the truckers that make it happen, plus the truckers, as well as the drivers of the rigs when it comes to the drag races and more. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I hate the fact that I cannot be there, but it's all right. I
We're gonna
always
miss you.
mention, I'm going to be supporting you guys.
We're going to miss you. You better be live
Yes,
with
I will.
us. You better be commenting.
Somehow.
You better be sharing.
Just include me in the video when you guys go live.
Oh, we should have a screenshot, just you coming across.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Hola, muchachos.
That's it. That'd be a lot of fun. We'll just throw that in there in the live. That'd be fun. And we can do that with our technology. It's a lot of fun.
But you will also be going live on Boss Nation. Now, talking about Boss Nation, that's where we go behind the scenes. You get to see a lot more of, the real stuff, the raw, the conversations that we get to talk about. And, for example, like right now with the FMCSA, time to comment. That's where we speak our mind as well. So if you want to be part of the Boss Nation, what do they got to do?
They go to our fan page, request to be part of the group, answer 3 questions. We approve it. You get a part of a unique community where you can't find content anywhere else. You won't find it on our Facebook when it comes to our feed. You won't find it on the YouTube channel. You will only find it in that group.
That's right.
Did I emphasize that enough?
Yes, you did.
In that group. Anyway, I got a little excited.
You always do.
What you do, I need you to get a little bit more passion. But, Isela, always a good show.
Yes.
A lot of fun. And if you don't know why we do this,
because you're the boss.